Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, NerdModeOn, and I'll be doing my next installment of my Let's Talk About Me series. This is a video series where I have the opportunity and the privilege to talk about key moments within my life and share some stories along the way. So with that in mind, guys, for this particular episode, I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to talk about the reason I changed jobs. If you guys are unfamiliar, I've actually changed jobs. I'm currently working at a new position, and it's ironic in some accounts considering that it seems like not long ago I was just talking about why I joined this particular job and was all excited about the benefits that it offered. Though in some accounts the benefits were not as exceptionally well as some of the previous jobs that I have worked in my lifespan. So anyway, guys, we'll be talking about the difference between financials, we'll be talking about the community, and overall, my opinions about the selected position as of this moment. So if you guys are unfamiliar, my previous job was basically a packaging center. I was one of the guys that made boxes, I put boxes inside of boxes, it kind of transferred from department to department, and then more or less, guys, my main job was packing and feeding. I would pack the machines with the selected box that needed to be shot down range, and finally it would go into the packer's hands to place inside of a giant box. That's about the simplest form to place it into. You don't really need to describe it too much because, well, you put boxes inside of boxes, and in most accounts they're really small and they go into a bigger box. So I would do either position, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, there were days where I would want to quit the job on the spot. Because I hated feeding. Feeding is that one job that you have to come to work with about 900 things to think about, and you're just sitting there thinking about all 900 of those things every single second of the day. And you would constantly be staring at the clock because you were wondering why the clock wasn't going faster. You wanted it to go faster because you wanted to get the fuck out of here and go and do something you wanted to do. I think you guys can probably agree within one sense or another because everybody, as far as I'm aware, has probably went to school. School in some accounts can be a little different because I'm going to be honest, school's a lot better than this job, but it's still, you're constantly staring at the clock, you're hoping this teacher breaks his hip or her hip, and you're hoping you get to go home for the rest of the day. Maybe somebody will pull the fire alarm, I don't know. Maybe your school's a little bit more dangerous in some accounts, but that's the best I can give you for my experiences. But with that in mind, guys, the position was good for people that, maybe just completed high school and needed to pay for college. Maybe they wanted to dedicate their entire life to the job. And basically, I guess what I'm saying is they didn't want to go to college because they thought it was a ripoff in some accounts, which is not incorrect. But I feel like college is kind of a necessary thing nowadays. But you guys will have to let me know if you're interested in that. I know a lot of you guys are really young, so you do have quite a ways to go. But there are some of you guys that are approximately my age and maybe older, and you guys can share your stories as well. But with that in mind, guys, the job that I currently did, or have done, I guess in my previous sense, paid very well. It was an exceptional job, it paid exceptionally well, and that's what allowed me to spend, well, to be honest with you guys, like $4,000 on my PC. Granted, it's a little bit more expensive than that now just because of how much more crap I've dumped into it, but that gives you the best notions. I spent approximately $5,000 on graphics cards. I know that's a little high, but I mean, come on, I was racking in like $1,500 a paycheck. I mean, it only made sense. I was making really good money, and I was working 50 hours a week on a good week. So, I mean, everything was going pretty good. I'm not going to complain in that aspect. But when it comes down to the main gist of it, the reason I left is because in some accounts I felt like I was intellectually more intelligent than maybe some of the people that work there. I felt like maybe in some accounts I was cocky, but I was more technology based. I wanted to work in a field that was graphics design / engineering, maybe that be audio or video. Maybe that's just doing anything that has to be associated with, network design and coding, stuff like that. So with that in mind, you can definitely tell that I was a little bit more suited to air conditioning, high-tech PCs, anything that have to do with technology on a higher degree than just having the machine do all my work job for me and, standing there feeding the motherfucker. So with that in mind, it only made sense for me maybe to not enjoy the job as much as maybe some other people that have more patience or maybe just don't have the ability to go to better jobs. Because the position I was employed at, in some accounts, it's a smaller city. It's not as prevalent as where I currently live. Where I live, the job is not at. I had to drive 2 hours every day there and 2 hours back, so 4 hours a day to get to and from work. And it wasn't worth the money. It may have paid great, but at the final result, every day I was going to buy new gas and have to feed myself because they didn't have benefits that were good in account to what I've done before. Well, to be honest with you guys, it was costing almost more money than what minimum wage cost, and it was unacceptable in a lot of accounts, but the reason I continually did it is because I had family that worked there, so I paid half of the financial cost for gas, but that adds up. You guys gotta realize, if you're driving 2 hours a day to work and 2 hours back, that's a lot of gas. That's more gas than probably most people use, and a lot of the time, a month I was spending way more money than it was costing, than it ever should have costed. Most of you guys that drive, be honest, how many times do you buy gas a week? If you fill it all the way to the full sign, how long does that last? In my account, probably about 3 to 4 weeks. In this job, a full tank was probably maybe 1.5 days on a good day. If you really were throttling that gas tank and you were making every shortcut there was possible, you might get a day or a day and a half. So you guys can see how that costed a lot of money, and it just was unacceptable in many accounts. Now, with that in mind, where do I currently work? Obviously, I'm not going to give you guys the state or the city or any of that stuff, because that's just a little creepy in some accounts, at least for now. Maybe if you guys grow by some ridiculous number, maybe someday. But with that in mind, of course, now I currently work at Cabela's, and I am in the call center. Now, some of you guys will say, is that much of a step up? I don't know, I haven't worked there long enough. I can't be honest with you guys, I can't tell you if it's something that I like, but I can tell you from experience that having the ability to work with people that are intellectually more inclined and have the ability and more experience, that's kind of important to me. I like to work with people that I can use, I can talk normal with instead of dumbing it down to a first grade level. Now, again, not saying everybody in my previous job was that way. There were many, college degree people, there were many intelligent people, but for every intelligent person, there seemed to be 5 people that didn't go to college and probably didn't finish high school. I don't know. That would be my guess, I guess you guys could say in some accounts. Now, with Cabela's, I don't know. I like the benefits. The benefits are really good. They're stacked on. They're nice and heavy. I get a very good amount of money. I make approximately $9.10 plus commission plus anything I sell for the cards. So, in reality aspect, I'm making probably $11, $12 an hour. Just depends on how good I am at selling things. I obviously have to speak up, I have to get out of my comfort zone, and I have to have the courage to want to sell products. So, I might just make $9.10 and that's it, or I might make more than that, just depending on how good of a salesman I am. That job is obviously all commission based, so if you're really good, you do have a very good attitude, you go into it looking for the, ability to sell more products, you're going to make more money. Guess that's the best way to look at it. I think we can all agree with that. It's kind of like a car salesman, but I'm not trying to rip you off 24/7. So, that's the best way to place that. So anyway, guys, I guess what you could ask, is do I like the job? Or do I like my current job? Well, I like it. It's a little bit more frustrating in some accounts because it's kind of like when I worked at Walmart. You never know who you're going to get a hold of. You never know who's going to be on the other side of the phone, and you never know if they're going to be yelling in their phone and they have no clue that they're yelling, or if they just talk really quiet. So there is a audio thing there. I do know how to fix the issue, of course. I'm very technology based in that, and it's not difficult by any means, but it's just resampling and resetting settings, and a lot of the computerized stuff that you do when you take orders, you evaluate the, systematic approach, and you look at all that stuff. It's a little complicated. You guys are probably, reviewing through your Facebook, your Twitter, and all that. It's not that easy. Of course, at one time this probably wasn't easy to you, but in this account, as of the moment, I'm a little confused. I'm frustrated in some accounts, and I wish the computers were more, advanced. Unfortunately, they are not the best. They're dinosaurs in a lot of aspects, and they don't exactly have the things that my computer has. So I do miss my mouse, I miss my beautiful keyboard, I miss having 3 monitors, I miss my 4 graphics cards, I miss the computer running really smooth. I miss all that. But I gotta realize that, the current ones that they use probably have been there for 5 years, so they're getting a little outdated. Their graphics cards, CPUs, are unfortunately not up to date. And that's okay. That's something I can deal with. It's just something to make a little bit more of an awkward silence when I'm on the phone trying to redirect to the centralized pages. So I have to have the ability to speak up. I have to evolve myself because a lot of the time I'm very quiet. And, well, to be honest, I don't really have conversations outside of the norm. I talk to people that I know, and I kind of stray the fuck away from people I don't know. So I gotta kind of break that barrier. I gotta become a little bit more comfortable with whoever's on the phone. And I look forward to hopefully advancing my vocabulary in some absences, but in many circumstances, I will hopefully be able to become a better customer service representative. however you pronounce that last word, because I don't even think I said it right. But anyway, you guys get the joke. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to let you guys know that I so far enjoyed the job. Everything's been going good. I've been meeting some friends, hanging out with some guys. A lot of smoking women in my class. That's just great. It's awesome. A lot of them are my age, so hopefully I'll be picking up a second job, if you guys know what I'm saying. Hopefully that'll all work out in my favor, and hopefully I'll be able to place everything into an appropriate situation. So anyway, guys, that has been my commentary. That has been my story, my elaborate conversation for you guys to indulge yourself into, and well, hopefully you guys had popcorn ready at the beginning. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next installment. This is InfamousNooneHD, and I'll be signing out, guys. Peace.